Ransomware probably started around '88. It was silly. It was distributed on floppy disks. We encrypted your data, send me $25 to a PO box in Panama, and I'll send you the key back to unencrypt your data. And that was how it all started. 2010, there's roughly 10,000 samples. 2014, there's probably 250,000 samples. Now there's 250 million, I believe, at this point. So yeah, the numbers are going up and up and up. It explains why it's such a big problem now, because there is so much of it, and there is no solution to the problem other than Rubrik. You're forced to pay, and then they are in as good a market as we are because they've got so many companies to choose from. One of the things that I think is important for all of us to realize is who we're fighting. Essentially, there are a couple of different types of groups that will attack you via ransomware. One is nation state. So the likes of China, of Russia, Iran, a lot of Middle Eastern countries, they use all types of cyber crime and all types of cyber tools to attack, to achieve their outcome. In a fight against the nation state, that really has to be something that you've got the backing of your government to overcome. The second group of people who do this are cyber criminals. And cyber criminals do it because it works. They essentially have a business model, and that business model says they have a product and they distribute that product, and that product yields them a payment. And so they just go from one customer to the next. The fact that it's illegal doesn't enter anybody's mind. They're not the folks who are going to feel bad about attacking you for ransomware, but they are the folks who are going to try to monetize that as best they can. And like any other product, like we all do for our own companies, trying to figure out what the next evolution of your product is going to be is something that they spend a lot of time and money on. So as we see what they're doing, we also see the true traits of what happens in any capitalist market structure. They break down things to smaller parts. They outsource certain things like Intel gathering for a certain company. They leverage things like cloud infrastructure to attack. Ransomware as a service became an actual thing, and it costs probably a couple $1,000s a month. They look at metrics. They understand exactly who they're hitting, what industries they're hitting, and they also look at the news, and they make sure that they're not coming up too much in the news by attacking organizations that are probably small to mid-size and won't create a huge impact if they're down for a couple of days. We've all heard about hospitals being hit. There's actually a lawsuit that is suing a hospital because there's one wrongful death that occurred because they got hit by ransomware, and people are now becoming very much aware of the impact that this is having. In circumstances where life is at risk, it's very important for us to understand how ransomware may impact and to try to get in front of it as much as possible. We have to respect this enemy. This enemy is doing the same thing we're doing, except that their product is illegal and their methods are unethical and highly questionable. But that doesn't negate what they do, and that doesn't negate the ability that they have to really hold us all ransom.